Sunshine. It's Ashley, and today we are doing a water animal cake. So last week, me and my baby went to Florida for the first time ever, and we spent the entire week on the beach, and we loved it. And we seen crabs, and we seen dolphins, and a man next to us caught a baby shark fishing. But that's besides the point. So we've seen lots of animals, and I just thought it would be cute to do some type of sea creature cake, because I've not done a cake in a really long time, and I love doing cakes. So I thought, why not? Let's do this. So one animal I did not see in the ocean this past week was a whale, because I don't know if there's whales in the ocean in Florida. I don't know, but I decided, inspired by my beach trip, I want to make a cake of a whale. And let me disclaim, I'm not a professional. This is the first cake I have baked in over a year, and mistakes will be made. You will see me mess up. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you like this whale. If you think he's really cute, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you like him. And if you think he's not cute because I'm really rusty and I've not made a cake in a long time and I don't know what the heck I'm doing, still give it a thumbs up for effort, right? If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I post new videos every week. Thank you to all of those of you who have stuck around during this past year or two where I've kind of been slacking because I had a baby and all this crazy life changes that have been happening. But I'm back, I'm uploading every week, and let's make a whale. Let's do this. Starting with 2 round pans, any size you want. I'm going to use 6-inch round pans. We're going to grease the pans, and then we're going to fill them with cake batter. I'm going to use blue cake batter because, you know, the ocean and whales. But I thought it would be super cute and kind of ocean and watery if I marbled in just a little bit of white cake mix. So I did put a little bit of white cake mix in as well and marble it up. I kind of thought it gave it a little bit more of an oceany wave water vibe, and that's totally what I'm going for. Once I put the white cake mix in with the blue cake mix, I'm just going to take my spatula and kind of run it around a little bit until it kind of looks marble and watery. You don't want to do this too much, because then if so, you're just going to mix it completely, and then it's just going to turn into a light blue, and that kind of defeats the purpose. Now I'm going to bake these. Bake these according to your package instructions. I'm using a box mix, so yeah. Now that our cute little cakes are baked, I'm just going to take a serrated knife and I'm going to cut off the dome on the top. So I'm going to do that by placing the knife on the edge of the cake and then just spinning the cake while kind of shimmying the knife, if that makes sense. And then there we go. We have our little white and blue cake. I'm going to do this again for the second layer of cake. Now that we have them done, I'm going to start stacking them. So I'm going to put a layer down with the raw side up. I'm going to put a generous layer of frosting on the cake. I'm going to try to make this as even as possible so I don't have a wonky cake. Next, I'm going to place my other cake on top of it with the raw cut edge down, so that way your cake is perfectly flat and straight on top, and you don't have to worry about crumbs on the top of your cake when you're crumb coating it. So now I'm going to take some more frosting, and I'm going to crumb coat the cake, and this is pretty much the same system I've always done. I'm just going to kind of run through real quick with a generous amount of frosting, and I'm just going to run it all around the cake and get it as smooth as possible. Just going to keep adding frosting where it needs to be, like places where you can see the cake, and then I'm going to keep just going around in circles and smoothing it out with my small spatula until it is nice and smooth and beautiful. And of course, your crumb coat does not have to be perfect, but it just always, I feel like it helps to have it looking kind of sort of straight. Now I'm going to get my cake plate ready, then I'm going to put my cake on, and of course I stuck big fingerprints in it because I didn't let my crumb coat cool long enough. If you put it in the fridge, it'll firm up and get cool, and you're not as likely to get big fingerprints in it like I did. So now I'm going to take some blue frosting, and I'm going to ice this cake, and this is going to be a completely buttercream cake with no fondant. If you're going to put fondant on the cake, you probably could skip this step and then just put the fondant right over the white icing. But I prefer a good buttercream cake, so I'm just going to cover this cake in this blue frosting. Again, pretty much using the same process I used for the crumb coat, just covering all of the white part of the cake and then just going over it with my spatula repeatedly until I get it nice and beautiful and smooth. It will take some time, and also I didn't do it for this cake, but it does help if you use a paper towel after you let it cool. Get it as smooth as you can, let it cool in the fridge, and then take a paper towel and try to smooth it out with a paper towel, and it will help any imperfections, but I wasn't too worried about that this time. Next, I'm going to take some white frosting and I'm going to ice the belly of the whale. And this is just going to be kind of small because his face is going to take up majority of the front of it anyways. So I made his stomach kind of smaller sized, but you can still tell kind of what it is for. So I'm just going to use my spatula to smooth out the icing that I squirted on there. And I'm also going to try to make it even because, you know, I can't pipe evenly. Now I'm going to take some black frosting, and this is where you're about to see a boo-boo. Whoopsie daisies. Now typically you would want to hold this up to the cake and not out from the cake like I was doing. I did just scrape it off with a knife and then tried to smooth the blue over it. Of course, as you can see, it's not beautiful, but it works. So I'm going to make a smile and some eyes with my black frosting, and you can kind of see he's already kind of looking cute. Now with some white frosting, I'm going to use a toothpick and I'm going to try to make like little dots in the eyes, kind of to make the reflection look type in the eyes. Now he needs some water coming out of the top. So I'm going to take a piece of wax paper and some blue melting chocolates. Of course, melt your melting chocolates, put them in an icing bag. And then I'm going to just pipe what looks like some little water sprays coming from the blowhole. So I kind of made it look like multiple little water droplets are going to be flying out different areas, and let that cool. Now once it's cooled and hardened, to give it a little more of the water effect, I'm going to take some of the white frosting and just kind of smear it on there a little bit, just using the piping bag, just putting very little on there. And it gives it a good water effect. Now because melting chocolate can break very easily, I'm using a toothpick to dig a hole in the cake to place it in, so that way I don't have to put too much pressure on my melting chocolate and risk breaking the water for the blowhole. You can always use extra icing and make some little side fins and a tail, but I did not do that this time. But look how cute he turned out. How cute was this whale? I mean, he wasn't perfect, but are any of us perfect? So I hope you liked it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you think he's cute, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload, which will be every week. That's all, folks. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.